We are live. Welcome to the latest Rebel Dividends webinar. We've got some good news on the economy. Strong economy, but we have falling inflation. So we got this Goldilocks situation for a long expansion, so long as the Fed cuts rates. Let's jump in to our presentation. So been a little bit of a bummer on price action for Bitcoin. We got a big sell-off in Ethereum. But what I'm paying attention to is what the big players are doing. So Goldman Sachs just declared with their 13F filing a $500 million position. To me, it looks like the whales are trying to manipulate the price and get as much of the supply before the inevitable push towards 150,000 Bitcoin. So huge return coming in for our Bitcoin plays. And I think we should very likely see that by the end of the year. More importantly, world central bank liquidity is skyrocketing up, causing stocks to skyrocket. We still have this AI theme dominating returns and all the companies tied to NVIDIA. It's a lot of the chip makers screaming up, which was one of our new plays that's been doing extremely well since the alert last week when the Fed cuts rates, presumably in September by 50 basis points is what I'm expecting. This is going to skyrocket up. So looking very good, not worried. Also, here is the price action on the Bitcoin ETF. And then again, it broke significantly higher, about 50% higher, and has been trading sideways. Will we see the same price action with Ethereum? I think so. There's some big bad actors exiting Ethereum right now. We've got the Grayscale Trust exiting right now. We've got the government selling. But this is all going to dry up. And then we have FTX creditors getting 16 billion in cash. So everything's looking good, holding tight here. Okay, so we've got a few plays in the portfolio that protect you against the war versus Iran that could escalate here. Iran's been scared to retaliate on Israel. There's talks of peace talks, but those keep being shot down pretty quickly. And then we have Ukraine and Russia escalating at the same time. All of this will put a cramp on supplies to oil. So we like to be long the American oil companies, and we have a good play for you with that. Rate cuts are coming in. You want to be long tech and crypto. We got a huge play in that. And then presidential election, typically very bullish. We believe this Fed quite likely compromised and is going to cut rates aggressively for the election. So we'll see how that plays out here. Buy these 7 stocks now, and we do think due to the leverage, this could very likely double by Christmas. We're up 773% in 4 years, outperforming the S&P 500 by 1,449%. This hedge portfolio, again, protects you against war, rate cuts, or either candidate winning the election. Tech stocks, likely the best winner if Kamala wins, and crypto likely the best winner if Trump wins. Here's our high risk portfolio allocation. We dumped UVXY. I was off on the calculation because of a reverse split that wasn't in there. We fixed that, and it's now in the track record. So our SOXL position is a little bit smaller than we would have hoped for, but it is going up rapidly. We got in at 29. It's already at 38. And this is quite likely going to scream higher for the rest of the year. Okay, so we're currently in the high-risk portfolio, 16% long bonds. We've got a massive Coinbase position with Coin at 36%. This is a company with a moat around it. It's like a Warren Buffett play. And again, it's going to be highly correlated against Bitcoin. Now, they are the custodian for the ETFs. And again, really have a monopoly. I do think this is headed extremely higher, probably a price target of 600 to 800 by next year. ERX, we have a 10% hedge with oil in case things go haywire. This thing could skyrocket up. If they cut rates, this should go up nicely as well. So it's really, unless there's a peace deal made, quite likely going to keep going up. And again, if there's a peace deal made, expect the other offensive plays to go up dramatically because that means inflation is going to stay tamed. FNGU has been a huge winner for us, and it's leveraged into companies like NVIDIA, Facebook, Google, Tesla, all doing extremely well. We've got a Bitcoin play with iBit representing 16% of the portfolio, and then we have the new 3X semi play with SOXL at 5%. And if things look good, we could very likely sell some treasuries and go much heavier in the semis. So paid tune for a potential trade alert. Now, again, if you remember, you can log in, punch in how much money you want to invest, and it breaks down the ratio of how many shares to buy. We're not targeting the asset allocation percentage. We're targeting a ratio of shares. And one unit currently comes in at $8,634. If you were to double that, you would be told to buy twice the shares. Okay, we're up 8% this year, 8.6 on the high risk. We've had much bigger gains, but again, the market's been difficult in crypto land for the last 3 months. We're expecting the market to pump towards the end of the year and potentially right away, as soon as, again, a lot of the selling pressure subsides. If you'd like to learn more about our product, please give Dean a call right now at 505-322-7515. Here's our safe growth portfolio. It is similar. It dumped its hedge. If that VIX gets much lower, we could actually add to that. So that's a potential trade alert. It's much heavier in bonds, which has had its worst bear market in history. Rate cuts will make this go up significantly. But again, it's still a defensive play. Once we think the coast is clear, we could add to semis quite likely. This one has the China play, or rather all of Asia with EDC. That's 3X EEM. And again, Michael Burry just went pretty much all in on that group of Chinese stocks, which is interesting. It's a good value play. So this one's looking primarily at value plays with some riskier plays with the Bitcoin and the semi 3X. It's got twice the hedge for disaster. Again, ERX only seems to be a loser if there's peace made in Ukraine and Iran. And that seems almost completely unlikely. Maybe if Trump wins, we would dump that as he wants to ramp up energy production, which counterproductively is bad for ERX and again, good for Bitcoin. Kamala wins, almost certainly we want to remain long oil because we would expect the same policies of the last several years to continue, which is trying to start World War III. Big Bitcoin play, that's by far the safest value play I see in the market. Biggest money in the world is loading up, follow the money. Quite likely that will be our best returning asset in the portfolio over the next year. Then we got the semis times 3 with 1.47. This unit costs $2,602 to build out. And again, the ratio of shares is on the right. If you log into the membership area, you can punch in your numbers and get your returns. This portfolio is only up 4% of the year. Again, I'm expecting a huge gain to close out the year in both portfolios. And to review, if the VIX gets too cheap, we could add some treasuries to that. And if we see peace coming, there's some obvious moves to dump the oil position. Trump wins, quite likely you want to close that oil position as well. Again, if you'd like to learn more about our product and service, please call Dean now at 505-322-7515. Go ahead and see if we have any questions. No questions yet. So Bill says, why would the government send 10,000 Bitcoin? Probably to sell it. They did that right after Trump said he's going to lock the reserve up. So yeah, they've got a lot more than that to dump. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, let's look at some charts. We've got the S&P 500 getting ready to break into a new high. Again, we got this set up for a dot-com-like bubble that's going to go way beyond your wildest dreams. Should take stocks and cryptos up together. And the baseline here is if the Fed front runs the slowdown in the economy, they can stop the rise in unemployment, keep inflation stable in the 2 to 3% range, possibly increase the inflation target from 2 to 3 without really saying it, but doing it with policy, slow down QT, and deliver big rate cuts. You do that, you got $6 trillion in money markets that's going to flood into markets and pump everything up. And again, the only thing that would really get us off course is if inflation were to start rising in the next few months and the Fed had to change expectations for rate cuts. So far, we don't see any reason for that to happen outside of oil skyrocketing or shipping lanes getting disrupted due to the war. NASDAQ, same chart, a little bit slower catch up. Again, I believe this is about to break into new highs and go way higher than anyone thinks possible. The expansion could be prolonged by years with rate cuts. We've got a huge influx of immigrants who can work for cheap. And again, with rate cuts, the biggest asset that US Americans own are houses. House valuations are going to skyrocket. They're all locked in at low rates or in cash. Now they can take debt out against those assets and put it in the stock market. So get ready for a wild stock market boom here and then probably close out the year. Here's UVXY. If this gets too cheap, we will sell some bonds and get back into that. Here's IBIT. Again, I believe this is being manipulated in this range so the mega whales can steal the supply before they let it go full send. Coinbase, same chart. Coinbase quite likely will greatly outperform Bitcoin itself. Again, once all this plays out. Here's your energy play. Again, this is World War III hedge. If Trump wins, we dump it. If Kamala wins, we double down for that play. This one was actually picked by Dean and is smoking the entire market since we went long. Wish we'd gone more aggressive. We had to revise the play due to the miscalculation on UVX. We'll look at a dip to add to this certainly, but it could very easily go well above 60 in the next 6 months for an easy double, if not higher. Russell 2000, we're not in, but this is Stanley Druckenmiller's key way to measure if you have a healthy stock market or not. If this was not following tech stocks, we'd be worried. This is indicating that we have a much longer bull market ahead. Regional banks, again, are underwater on their bonds. If we saw this cratering, we might be scared. Again, it's looking very healthy. Treasuries are even going up. So we really have nothing to worry about as far as the outlook over the next 6 to 12 months for the majority of our positions, so long as inflation continues to subside. And again, outside of oil spiking, we see no reason for this to occur. Here's your emerging markets play. You can see that's been in a bull market for several months now. And again, we do think that as the dollar falls due to the US cutting rates, it will send Chinese stocks, emerging stocks, dramatically higher. So another beautiful play. Here's your FNGU. It's leveraged into FANG with 3x. Get ready for this to full send to new highs very shortly. Copper futures, good way to look if we have inflation to front run. If this were rising, that would be bad. If it were crashing, that would mean also bad, but it's stabilized, which tells us inflation is likely stabilizing. When you got rate cuts going, when you got interest rates going down on the TLT, which means it's going up, you got copper going down, that is a beautiful setup for, again, a bull market. Here's Brent oil getting a little bit of a bid. Unless this goes above 100, nothing really to freak out in terms of a stock crash. We'd likely dump ERX way before oil hit 100, assuming that it's going to cause a general stock market crash. And then again, it wouldn't make sense, but you're going to see the whole stock market go down if you get a spiking oil due to World War III type events. Silver, we're just looking at, this is another way to look at risk in the markets. If gold and silver are pumping, not necessarily good. And again, you can see gold is front running this. Central banks, everyone's still nervous. So that's probably one of our biggest warning factors outside of everything else. The Chinese currencies stabilized, nothing crazy there. Japanese yen stabilized. They got it away from that level that deteriorates their markets at 160. And again, that's off the table. TLT is going up. That's what you want to see when rates are this high. Now, if rates were going super low, that'd tell you a recession's coming in. But the move from 96 to 120 is going to be a massive bull market catalyst. So very good news there. So really looking good. DYX index falling, beautiful for our positions. The 30-year on an interest rate level you can see is falling, and the 2-year is falling. So it's really looking really good here with our current positioning. We could move TMF around to get some extra juice in the portfolio if we wanted to. But we'll probably wait till closer to October to add a lot of extra risk to the portfolio as we get a better idea of who probably will win the election and whether or not we're getting in some rate cuts in September. Okay, very good. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back on Dean's screen. I don't know if he's available to chat today. Yeah, crypto's been, so we got this company called Jump dumping assets. We've got the government moving some assets. We got the Mt. Gox creditors. So there is some sell pressure, but what's more important is the big hedge funds are buying up everything. Okay, let's see if I can make Dean panelist. Maybe Ryan can. Any other questions out there? But yeah, no plans to change anything. Congrats to Dean for giving us the 3x semi play. That's killing it. Any dip we'll look to add to that position. Very bullish on that, especially with NVIDIA recovering. It's a dead obvious because those two go hand in hand. Some of the companies that sell stuff to NVIDIA can't make the supplies fast enough. And meanwhile, the AI race is aggressively moving forward. Tesla and Twitter putting massive investments into supercomputers ran by NVIDIA chips. Facebook's doing the same thing. And now there's a new partnership with Google and a few other major corporations. So they're all in the AI race right now. And they need NVIDIA and the semis. So they're all connected together in that respect. And again, with Kamala, we like the traditional tech companies the best because she's hiring the same people that worked with Elizabeth Warren and have been operating the shutdown to allow people to freely move money into crypto exchanges, as well as suing every good company on the planet. Trump wins. He's clearly pro crypto, and again, that wouldn't be bad for the tech stocks. We just expect greater outperformance. Now, as far as predictions, when I look at the registration in swing states, it's negative for Democrats and huge improvements, 30, 50,000 in swing states that are registering Republican. Kamala has been putting up fake photos of fake people at her events. They are basically money laundering hundreds of millions of dollars through people who don't know they're donating. There's journalists going to these people asking if they sent the money in. They're barely getting by. They didn't do it. So again, we just want to make money. You can tell I have an opinion on it, but once we have a better idea of who's going to win, we will adjust the portfolio and put any bias aside. Just in general, though, if Kamala's going to win, oil's going up for sure, and the war will continue, and there's probably going to be more pressure. But what I want to point out is I don't think the polling is accurate. We know the mainstream media is full of it. It's very easy to go to these betting places. A few $100,000 can push the odds in her favor and keep this narrative going. Now, the good news is if they believe that they have the world tricked, they're quite likely going to pump the crap out of the stock market to year end. So I like our positioning, and I think we're going to do extremely well with just a few trades to close out the year. Yeah, we got to be worried about. So Taiwan did their election all in person, all votes counted in front of the public, all on paper, done in 4 hours. So until we have a voting system like that, I will never be extremely confident that Trump will win, even if it looks like he should.
Yeah,
So
Jason, I talked with one of our clients in Houston, Texas, that he's a lawyer that works in the political space, and he basically, at the end of the day, told me, it's in the someone's faith that they basically count the votes properly in the United States of America, and there's nothing outside of that. So yeah, it's a wishy-washy system at best. I learned that a few years ago, and I've never forgot it.
yeah,
So to your point, the way literally the way the laws are structured around voting, it's extremely loose. Um, and thank you for that, Ken, for explaining that to me in Houston. Okay, guys, really quick, I wanted to see if anyone in here wants a free build out. If you guys are not one of our paid members, I'd love to get you one of our portfolios to test out. Try to put some money into your pocket. That's literally how we've acquired the mass majority of our, kind of 1,000+ clients or at this point. So, if any of you guys are not a paid client and you guys want a free trial, feel free to just type into the chat box. Let me know how much you want to invest. Leave your name and your phone number. That way, I'll text you over the portfolio to build out too. So, or we can set up a time to do it tomorrow too, whatever's best for you. Um, very, very good, Jason. Trying to see here. Nice. A couple of people I haven't seen in here for a while. William Taylor, good to see you in here, bud. I know it's been a while. Let's see here. Bill Burt, how's it going? Bill Schneider, hey Bill, how's it going? Haven't seen you in here in a while too. Gary Mitchell, hey bud, hope your neck's doing good. Joe Thuma, hope all is well, bud. Um, nice. Kent, I think Kent was up in South Dakota, if I remember right. Hey, Kent. Hey, Gary. Good to see you on here, bud. We still need to go golfing. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So yeah, just wanted to touch base on that. So if anyone here is on a free trial, North Dakota, that's right, Kent. That's right, bud. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying that SOXL trade. That has been a fun one to watch, certainly. I was actually had a little party at my house this weekend and had some friends over, and I was just telling everyone how semis were actually the most sold off they've been in the past 5 years. We got to that going into last weekend, and so I was salivating over the weekend
yeah, you
on that
nailed the
one.
bottom by about $1. I think we were $1 before the very bottom.
Nice. Nice, bud. Okay, cool. Well, sweet. And I don't know if there's any, Nilly Goldman, I don't know that name. If you want a free portfolio build out, just type it in the chat box. Be happy to get you one. Carlos Vela, don't recognize that name too. So Carlos, if you want a free build out, bud, let me know. I'd love to stick some money into your pocket or into your account, I should say more accurately. Angela, Dana, if you like a free build out, let me know. And also, too, guys, if you don't want to do it, on YouTube, no worries. Just send me a text and just say, "Hey, Dina, I want to do a build out for 100,000 or 200,000 or $1,000,000 or whatever it is." We'll send it over to you, let you try it out. So very, very good. And just so you guys know, so Jason is our chief investment officer. He's the person you heard, giving you the macro overview, explaining the portfolios. So he's my business partner. We work together to design the portfolios. He leads that process. He's much more knowledgeable than I am, especially when it comes to the bond market and how it all interlates and interplays to basically all assets, general direction of equities, bonds, commodities, value US dollar. And it's wild, guys. What I've learned from Jason in the past 20 years of knowing Jason is that literally um, those people between the Federal Reserve, the Treasury, and our administration, they just push around that $140 trillion market, right? So that's a liquid market that they just push around. And so I think that's the biggest thing I've learned personally from Jason, guys, is how that all works, what they do to push that around, and how to position into that. Um, And it's been a blast to learn that. It's been incredibly helpful for my life financially too. So Jason, I appreciate that. Um, all right, guys. Well, you all have my number. If you want to do that free portfolio build out, guys, basically what I will do is, just let you tell me how much you want to invest. We'll send you over a customized portfolio for exactly how that works. And then if any of you guys are interested, any of the existing members are interested in any of our passive income plays, we do have some opportunities there, and you guys can feel free to call me or text me on that. So look forward to conversations, guys. Don't be shy. Call or text 505-322-7515. I'm the chief investment consultant, guys. So typically I'm working with the people before they come in and before they're a paid client. And then once you guys do get signed up, Victor Cox, Jason's father, will actually be your dedicated support specialist. He's going to walk you through how to use the position calculator. It's super simple, but he's going to hold your hand, show you exactly what to do, how to do it, and be your resource if you ever have questions along the line. So one of the cool things we do, guys, is we actually offer one-on-one human support. It's something that's kind of gone away in business in general at this point in life, and it's something that we take very seriously and want to keep that going as long as we possibly can. So again, live human support when you do get signed up, and existing members, if you want to talk about the passive income or if you just have any questions, reach out 505-322-7515. Thank you, team. Truly appreciate your time and attention. I don't see any other questions. Any potential or any non-paid investors have any questions here for us? And feel free to type them into the chat box if you do. We'd love to answer those for you. And we'd love to give you a portfolio build out as well. It's pretty cool, guys. Over the years, we've had people make anywhere from like $1,000 to $10,000. We've had hundreds of people do that. We've had probably, I'd say, I don't know, somewhere between 100 to 100 clients make anywhere from 10,000 to 50,000 bucks with the free trial too. So guys, if I can stick some money into your pocket, just send me a text or give me a call, 505-322-7515. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about too, Jason. So many people always get paranoid about investing into election years, or they get worried about what's going to happen with the general market. So as Jason very clearly illustrated, guys, look, markets are going to go up. We have rates scheduled to go down to 3%, maybe even lower, right, Jason? Isn't it under 3 now into 2025?
Yeah, so it's going to go from 5.5 to 4.5, 4.5, hopefully by the end of the year. And then we'll see what they have on deck for next year. That would assume 50 basis point cut in September, and then the follow-up in the December FOMC. And that's currently what the
Okay,
market's expecting at the best case.
sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'd read something that someone was looking at it potentially coming down all the way to 2.5% next year with how slow everything got in the real estate market. But we'll see. Um, awesome, guys. Oh yeah, so just generally speaking, guys, election years, typically super bullish. Okay, even all the way through the election process. Okay, and yeah, it's not worth getting out of position, guys. And if you're sitting in cash, getting eaten alive, like one of the guys I've been talking with for a while, is the guy's name's Ken. He's been sitting in cash, guys, with 7 figures since 2020. He's lost 18% a year in buying power. That's insane. When you look at that on, let's just say, on 2 million bucks, that's not fun. That's over $500,000 with the buying power just gone because the poor guy didn't know what to do. So if you're one of those people, guys, you don't know what to do, please call me, please text me. I'd love to help you. Love to help people make money. It's a weird, sick thing that I like to do, but super fun for me. Okay, I think that's it, Jason. Yeah, I don't see any questions, don't see any build out requests, so I think we're good to go.
Guys, okay, very good, guys. We'll see you back next week, most likely same day of the week and same time. So thank you so much. And again, keep a lookout for trade alerts.